Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Scout Tactical channel. Well, it's Thursday night before the Saturday morning opener of the Texas deer season 2013. This week we've already done the Ruger Super Black Hawk Hunter 44 Magnum hunting revolver. We're going to keep the tradition going. And I gave you a hint in the first video, but it probably faked you out. I said, hey, this week we're also going to do a Remington hunting rifle, deer rifle. And I bet everybody thought bolt action. So what is this? This is the Remington R-25 semi-auto 308 rifle. People today are using the phrase MSR, which is modern sporting rifle, which is accurate. It's also known, a lot of people say it's an AR-10, which is pretty accurate. That's actually an Armalite term. This is a Remington rifle, which is, I think, made for them by DPMS or Bushmaster, because Remington owns both, if you didn't know that. But it's an excellent gun, and it's in today's configuration, which is a semi-auto rifle. That gives you a lot of benefits. It gives you, number one, normally increased ammunition supply, okay, if you need it. It gives you faster reloading with a detachable magazine, right? You push the button and the mag flies out, okay? It gives you normally a real accurate rifle, real fun to shoot rifle. It's modular, so that you can customize it a lot, whereas that's a lot harder to do on a traditional bolt action hunting rifle, okay? Like a Winchester Model 70 or a Remington 700 or a Mauser or 1,000 other models. Normally on those you can do some stock changes and things like that, but a lot of times gunsmiths are doing it because they're glass bedding or pillar bedding, all kinds of stuff for accuracy. But with this, it's just an AR. So with these 308 based bigger platforms, they have a whole industry built around accessories, and you just plug and play. It has takedown pins that pop it where it's an upper and a lower, just like a standard AR-15 that you're used to, 223, but bigger. It's a larger platform, a literally physically larger scale. So you can do all kinds of stuff. You can have an upper in 308, an upper in other calibers. I've seen a lot of different 6.5 variations going on. Another company the other day was showing their 6.5 Creedmoor upper, and their I've seen 6.5 by 284. Anyway, sky's the limit. Optics are the limit. Everything mounts easily. You don't have to drill and tap and all kinds of stuff to get this rifle retrofitted for today's hunting environment. It's ready for a scope, or it has a Picatinny rail here and here, so it's ready for iron sights if you want to put flip-ups on it or what have you. I'm using the rifle just for hunting. I love it. It's fun to shoot, but let me tell you, when I got this gun, which is not cheap, I think this is a 2010 model, it did not run well for me. I had a lot of hangs. It wouldn't feed the ammo and eject it all the way out. It wouldn't feed the top one off the magazine. I was having some problems. I was truly pretty frustrated. This was in I guess a while back. The Sarge and I, who you've seen in other videos, we were out at the range trying to sight this thing in. It just wouldn't feed well. It didn't shoot very good. But guess what? It's a Remington. All I did is call Remington, tell them my problem. They paid to get this thing picked up. They paid to fix it. It cost me not a dime. And in about 4 weeks, they sent it back to me. And that was in 2010, so, or 2011 maybe by then. But they're an excellent company. It was a no questions asked deal. I didn't have to prove ownership. I didn't even tell them that I was a dealer. I had a dealer's license. I used to own a store till 2010. I just told them I was Joe Blow. Here's a problem with my rifle, and they took it back. And they fixed it. Now Remington claims that the chamber was not at the proper dimensions, and they re-reamed the chamber, rechambered the chamber area, the throat area of the action in here to get it into spec so that it wouldn't stick the cases. They claimed it was too tight. It was sticking cases, and that's why it was slipping off the ejector. Okay, whatever. I'm not a gunsmith. I will tell you that the gun shoots fine now, so I'm good with that. This is an excellent rifle. What you're going to get here is an AR-based platform, right? So your grip angle is the same. It can have a telestock or a fixed stock, like a traditional AR-15. It has a traditional GI mil-spec type trigger. I have not changed this out to be an aftermarket trigger. Your dust cover, your forward assist, which you really never use. Your charging handle, okay, which is in the standard place. This is a bone stock gun, by the way. It has over here your bolt release, which is standard, but it's not the same size as an AR-15, just so you know. So you can't put the Magpul BAD lever, the bad lever, on it. It doesn't fit. It makes it stick out too much. I've tried it. You saw the bad lever in a few different ARs that I've reviewed. And then your safety, your fire control right here, just like a standard AR-15. So if you can shoot the little rifle, you can generally shoot the big rifle. Is there more recoil? Well, it shoots a 308, okay? So yeah, there's more recoil. As a matter of fact, there's kind of a startling amount of recoil out of this, but it's not harsh. It's easy to shoot, but it's kind of there. You know, you can put down 2,000 rounds in a day through an AR-15 and 223, or, you know, realistically, a few hundred for most shooters. But you can do a shooting school, training class, whatever, qualification if you're law enforcement, some big shooting day. It doesn't hurt. You don't have any bruising or recoil effects. I'm going to tell you, you start ripping off a bunch of 308 and you're going to know it. It's not bad, but it's there. It's just kind of jarring. After a while, your sinuses are kind of blown out, really, is my opinion on them. But I like them. You're also getting a heavier gun, so it's a bigger platform, physically larger platform. With that, instead of coming in, for example, my Remington R-15 or the Daniel Defense V7 that I've reviewed, instead of coming in at 6.5, 6.3 pounds, something like that, you're coming in at 8.5 pounds for the rifle alone. Add on there the Burris Pepper Mount, P-E-P-R, right, which is the non-quick detach version, like was on the Designated Marksman rifle, the Stag that I just did. This is the regular version, and a Leopold or Leupold, whichever you prefer. This happens to be a VX1 3-9x40. The scope is coming in at about 13 ounces. The mount's coming in at 6 or 8 ounces. Hey, we're 9.5, 10 pounds. It's kind of heavy for a deer gun. It's kind of heavy. It's also fun for hogs, by the way. But it's doable. 9 pounds, no big deal. 9.5 pounds, no big deal. But it's heavier than I'd like it. So it's not an ultralight rifle. But that recoil, just like in the handguns, more weight gives you less kicks. So you do get the benefit of some recoil reduction. I've seen like the DPMS Sportical and the Oracle 308 platform, that little thin light barrel deal that comes in at about 7 pounds, 7.5 pounds, noticeably more snappy than this Remington R-25. The R-25 is really the Cadillac of the mass production ARs. And I say the mass production AR 308 platform, excuse me. The mass production ones because it is kind of mass made. They come out in pretty big runs. It's nationally available. And I give that caveat of the mass produced because there are better rifles, okay? I know I say okay too much. I'm trying to work on that, okay? You know, you look at something like the LMT platform. The LMT has got a couple different models that are super awesome, but you're talking $2,500 to $3,500 depending on the options. So not that price range. This gun, generally speaking, is about $1,450 to $1,650 depending on what the gun market's doing with crazy ass Obama and Dianne Feinstein trying to ban stuff. So they fluctuate, but generally it's about a $1,500 rifle in round numbers, okay? In the Texas world, I don't know about nationally. This is also capable of taking your 20-round mags. There's a 5 stuck in it, but they have 5, 10s, and 20s, and I've seen now that DPMS this year, and I think Magpul, will have some 25s. Those come down pretty far, okay, in the mags, in the mag well, on the rifle. And remember, carrying 308 rounds is a lot heavier than carrying 223 rounds, so you have to kind of balance size and weight. But for a range session, an extended mag is a lot better because you don't have to reload or break your cheek weld. You can continue firing, which is a lot more accurate normally. And for a hunting situation, say in pig hunting, which is ever popular in Texas, we have millions of them, you can shoot faster follow-up shots and have more ammo, which is also safer because pigs are pretty dang vicious. They will come after you. So you want all the bullets you can get. Generally, I'm going to tell you now, I haven't seen any pork walk from a 308 though. It's going to pop even the biggest hogs. Some notes on the gun. Like I said, I have had the feeding problems. A little bit of mag feeding, a little bit of chamber feeding. The mag problem, Remington sent me this magazine, which is a little 5-rounder. Much appreciated because these are 25, 30 bucks. They sent me the mag for free when they did the rifle. I didn't send it in with the mag. I was shooting the Magpul P-mags, which are called the LR mags. LR308B family, LR308 family of DPMS is what that's probably named after. This is a DPMS patterned rifle, though not every part is exactly interchangeable. But I was having no problem with the polymer mags either. The only mag I was having trouble with that I was testing the gun with that day was a 19 round metal DPMS mag. And this one is actually a Bushmaster mag. It's got the little Bushmaster snake. But again, same parent company. I'm sure they're coming out of the same place or sourcing them in the same place. I'm going to talk about the scope real quick. I don't like it. I'm going to throw that out there. Guys, I'm a Leopold fan, whatever term you like. I like their scopes. This VX1 is my first VX1 ever. I bought it when I got the rifle, and I really bought it because of the brand name. You can't go wrong with the Leopold, right? But it was in mossy oak tree stand camo, which matched the rifle, and I just thought that was too cool. You know, you got to have your stuff pimping out there for the Deer Woods fashion show. Seriously, though, I don't like it. It doesn't have, on the caps, on the adjustments, it doesn't have any clicks. Now, those of you that use scopes know what I'm talking about here. And I'm not talking about turn the turret, like a target turret. I'm talking about take off the cap at the gun range, trying to sight it in. You put your dime or your thumbnail in there to turn it. Click, 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 click. It doesn't. The VX1 just turns smoothly. Now, it has marks. You can see what you're doing. So there's the indicator. There's the dial clearly marked all the way around. So it's a doable deal. But those clicks somehow just make me feel better. I guess if it's quarter MOA and I want to move it 1 inch at 100, I move it 4 clicks. Now you got to stare at the numbers, make sure you're doing the right way, all that stuff. There's just a little tidbit of information, but it got on my nerves. And as a matter of fact, it got on my nerves so bad that I haven't bought another VX1 since. I don't know what's up with this scope, the 3 to 9x40 in mossy oak tree stand. It's not cataloged this year. They may have canceled it, though the R-25 is obviously still going strong. I'll see these come into the wholesalers, the different wholesalers, and it'll be, you know, they'll have in 100 of them, or they'll have 85 of them, or what have you. They generally last a little while, a couple months, but then they're gone, and they don't have any for 3 or 4 more months. In today's gun world, heck, they don't have any for another year. So, not a ton of them for the nationwide supply and demand chain, but, they, you know, they're selling. I like the 308. It has standard swivels from Remington. You see the standard swivels? I like that because you just put your sling on there. I took this one off for whatever reason, but it will be slinged up. This thing's going with me tomorrow night to the deer lease because it's just fun to shoot. It's easy to shoot, I think, in my opinion. Not that 308's a big beast or anything, it's easy to shoot, but the semi-automatic action obviously gives a little recoil reduction over a bolt action because a bolt action is fixed, semi-automatic's moving, just like a revolver versus a semi-auto pistol. It's going to have some less kick. Another cool thing is the barrel. Remington flutes their barrel. It's only half flutes. They're at the end. That's a 20-incher, medium weight. But those flutes are kind of cool. They do seem to stiffen it. They're designed to make it cool faster, but you're really not heating this puppy up much. Even with several shots in a row, it's not going to get crazy on you. It's not fully automatic. It's semi, obviously. But they also, those flutes also stiffen it. So this has become a pretty accurate rifle. I'm sure everybody's wondering, hey, shut up, dude. What kind of accuracy does it have? Well, it's all over the board with me. With the crappy loads, cheap stuff, which is really all you can afford to shoot for most people today, it's going about 1.5 inches at 100. But with the good stuff, like some Federal Gold Medal match, or several hunting loads, for example, for some reason, this rifle does, my rifle in particular, likes the 180 grain Federal Fusion bonded load, you know, which is a deer hunting or a hog hunting load. It likes those, but at 25 bucks a box, I hope it likes those. It's definitely a steak, not a bologna. But it's shooting those at about 3/4 inch, and that's more than acceptable. 3/4 MOA, hey, I'm good with that. And I'm not shooting 1,000 yards with this thing. It's a 3 to 9 scope. It's a 308 cartridge. I know that I can put down deer at 300 yards with it, and that's what I do. My tree stand, or my box blind rather, where I'll be sitting Saturday morning, most of the shots are 75 yards to maybe 150. That's pretty standard across the country. I know in the east there's a lot of wooded stuff where guys shoot a lot shorter, 50 yards or so, 75. And then out west, guys don't even think about getting closer than 200 in some spots, you know, 150 in some spots, and they're shooting 300 and 400 and 500. South Texas, same thing. They stretch it on out. But for where I am, I'm going to be in the East Texas piney woods. You know, I'm shooting 75 to 150, 200 at the most. So, it's a great rifle. I highly recommend it. It's $1,500 plus the scope, plus the mount. This scope is in the $250 range, and then the mount, another $100. So, not a cheap thing. A little less than $2,000, but your kids could shoot it. You can put an adjustable stock on it like I have on several of my AR-15s, and so you can adjust it for your wife and what have you. It's not a real hard kicking dude. So, highly recommended. Again, mine had some problems. I want to show you one last thing before we go. If you can see the letters, it says R-25 etched in right here. Well, the reason it's hard to see is because it's supposed to have white filler all over. Okay? It's supposed to say right here, fire and safe. Can you see that? Fire and safe. They're etched in right there. Same thing on the other side. It says Remington right there. And it says the model number and the serial number here. Here it has letters. Fire and safe as well. The reason those are hard to see is because this gun, brand new from the factory, it's got the dip on the camo, but it didn't have the white filler it's supposed to have around all the letters or over the whole lower receiver. You know, that's just a gripe, I guess. I'm not trying to be particular, but dang, man, if you're paying $1,500 or more for this gun, the paint should be filled in. It just looks crappy, to be honest. When I saw that, I thought, man, that really gets me because I'm a Remington nut. I have a safe with several deer rifles. I think I have 7 top-end type deer rifles, and every one of them is a Remington. So don't give me the hate mail. If you don't like Remington, crap on you. My safe is full of Remington. I have a few other brands, but that's my primary love on the rifles, okay, especially the deer rifles. I'm a Remington man, but so it gets me. Quality control not too good that day in 2010 to let this one slip out. And further, I sent it in to be fixed because it wasn't working right, and it's still not filled in. You'd think somebody have a little magic marker in white and could help a brother out, but I guess not. Alright guys, couple of props. Everybody always wants to know what I put out to show with the different reviews. The ever awesome Rambo style SOG Tiger Shark. This is the real Tiger Shark, not the new Elite, which I have also, which is in black. But this is the old school, the bigger one than the SOG 2000. It's a 9-inch blade. As you see, it's super big. I did all big stuff tonight because it's got a big AR-10 here. So as you see, super big knife, super awesome, ridiculously sharp, partially serrated blade. Love it. I've had this one since probably 06, 05. And as you've seen in one of the other reviews, the FNX 45, a 15-round 45 ACP handgun, which is also full size and huge. We're going heavy metal division tonight with a 45 and a 308. Guys, I really appreciate it. We've closed out month 1. Subscribe if you like the channel. Thank you for all the views. Comment, let me know what you'd like to see next. I also got in a Kelty Eagle 128 pack, big daddy pack. Thinking about doing that. If you want to see it, let me know. Check us out on the web, scouttactical.com. Check us out on Facebook, and as always, thanks for watching.